Right, guys, the title and thumbnail are not clickbait. There has been obviously a big update with Nintendo Switch 2 prices of games from May 2026 with Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. The digital versions of the games are going to be cheaper by about $10 compared to the physical versions. Now, I have some thoughts. I'm not going to extend this video for like 20 minutes talking about it. I'm just going to say I'm not surprised that this is something that is now happening. And I actually support this in a way. And before anyone screams in my comments saying, "Oh, you want physical media to die," bro, I have over 600 physical games. I buy and collect physical games as something I do. I enjoy collecting physical games, but I do feel that $60 for a digital game is fair, and $70 for a physical game is fair, because when it comes to the physical game, obviously you've got to actually print the cartridges or the discs or whatever they are. You've got to obviously, print all the box art and stuff, get the cases and stuff. So and also you've got to ship them to obviously stores. So there are more costs associated with actually making a physical game than there is a digital game. Now, I do understand obviously why a physical game will cost more money than a digital game. It just makes sense economically. You have to put more in to make a physical game than you do to make a digital game, because all you've got to do with a digital game is upload a file to a digital store and allow people to buy it. With a physical game, obviously, with physical games, you got obviously, like I said, print the cartridges, put them in cases, ship them out to different stores across the world. It does make more sense that the digital games are cheaper. Now, do I support this? I'm a bit indifferent to it. Obviously, I do like my physical games. I do enjoy collecting physical games. So I always have enjoyed doing. If you look at my shorts section on my YouTube channel, for example, I have a ton of different shorts on different physical games I've collected over the years. And I do enjoy collecting physical games. And I don't really want physical games to go away. However, I do also understand the value of a digital purchase being $10 cheaper, and thus enticing more players to actually go and buy a digital copy of the same game. It does make more sense, if the game is $10 cheaper and you're not that bothered about having, the case and the cartridge and stuff. It does make sense to obviously have the game be a digital download. And like I said, it's cheaper for you, especially in this time where everyone hasn't got as much money as they usually would, due to all the crazy economic stuff going on in the world. It does make sense that people will be enticed by this. They will obviously go and buy. Well, I say go and buy. They'll go to the eShop and buy Yoshi and the Mysterious Book if they're interested in it for $10 cheaper on the eShop, because it's still $60, than go and pay $70 for it like a GameStop. It does make sense. It does make a lot of sense. And whilst it does sort of perpetuate the whole idea that physical media is dying, because let's be honest, Nintendo was always the last holdouts with physical media. They obviously were still printing cartridges, but they needed the whole game keycard thing. And now they're doing this, like digital games being cheaper than the physical versions, which, I'll be honest, why was this not always the way? Like, when it comes to physical games, I feel like physical games should have always been a bit more expensive than digital games, because when digital games launched on like the Xbox 360 and stuff, they were like 5 times the price that physical games were selling for at the time, because obviously they were like $30, $40, whatever, whilst the games were going for like $5 brand new at the time. Like, they weren't relevant at the time that they were trying to be sold for like massive increases on digital stores. But then obviously as over time sort of went on all platforms, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, the prices all came down in line, so it was all the same price. No matter which one you bought, whether it be physical or digital, they were always roughly around the same price. Now, with obviously digital games nowadays, with there not being as many costs to actually print like manuals, print cases, print, cartridges, ship them around the world, it does make sense that these games are going to be obviously cheaper on digital stores. And in fact, actually, I don't even know why these games were even $70 on digital stores in the first place to begin with, because it doesn't make any sense. There's nothing really that you're adding to this game, or any, like, not really as many costs to this game as there is with a physical game. So I don't see why they try and charge the same for it. Now, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. Am I wildly misinformed? Am I wrong? Let me know what you guys think. Personally, the fact Nintendo has confirmed this is obviously the big thing, because obviously I always figured they were doing this anyway. Like, if you actually look at prices of games like Donkey Kong Bonanza on the eShop, if I'm not mistaken, they've always been cheaper on the eShop than they have been on, the actual physical cartridge. And I'm saying this because I made a video like 7 months ago about this topic, and I paid £65, because obviously I'm British, for a physical copy of Donkey Kong Bonanza, brand new. And, the game on the eShop was £59. So I always figured that this was how they did it, but, is what it is. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. Are you happy about this news? Are you disappointed about this news? Are you sad that this looks like physical games are going to die even quicker? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, you like, you follow, all that sort of stuff. Trying to hit 1 billion subscribers. Any help is greatly appreciated. And yeah, we'll see you next one. Peace.